Greed is what broke the Florida housing market. Not bad weather, not hurricanes, not even mortgage rates alone. Greed. Pure greed. For years, Florida was sold as paradise. Low taxes, warm weather, ocean views, retirement living, remote work freedom. People from New York, California, Illinois, and other expensive states flooded into Florida during the pandemic. And at first, it looked like the greatest real estate trade in America. Home prices exploded. Investors made fortunes. Airbnb owners bragged online about passive income. Real estate influencers kept repeating the same message. Buy now before you get priced out forever. That phrase aged horribly, because now, Florida is becoming one of the clearest warning signs of what happens when greed takes control of a housing market. Between 2020 and 2024, many Florida cities experienced absolutely insane price growth. Tampa, Miami, Orlando, Jacksonville, Fort Myers. Some markets surged over 40%, 50%, even higher. And during the peak frenzy, people completely lost their minds. Homes were getting 10, 20, sometimes even 30 offers within days. Buyers waived inspections, waived protections, waived financial contingencies. Some people were buying homes after seeing them for less than 15 minutes. Think about how insane that sounds. People were making 30-year financial decisions faster than choosing a television. And greed made everything worse. Wall Street firms started buying entire neighborhoods. Institutional investors purchased thousands of homes across Florida and the Sun Belt. Airbnb investors transformed residential communities into mini hotel districts. Builders kept raising prices because desperate buyers kept showing up. And social media housing experts kept telling ordinary Americans, real estate only goes up. That sentence may have financially trapped an entire generation, because underneath all the hype, there was one giant problem nobody wanted to talk about. Income did not rise at the same speed as housing costs. That is the real crisis. A family earning $70,000 or even $90,000 a year suddenly found themselves competing against cash buyers, corporate investors, retirees from wealthy northern states, and remote workers earning massive tech salaries. Normal working families never had a chance. And then mortgage rates exploded. In early 2021, the average 30-year mortgage rate was sitting near 3%. Today, rates are hovering around 6% to 7%. That changes everything. A $400 house financed near 3% could have cost around $1,500 per month for principal and interest. At 6.5%, that same house can now cost around $2,500 per month. That is over $1,000 extra every single month, before property taxes, before insurance, before utilities, before repairs. And this is where people truly started getting crushed, because Florida has another massive financial disaster: insurance. Florida homeowners insurance has become one of the most expensive nightmares in America. Insurance companies have either left the state, dramatically raised premiums, or stopped writing new policies completely. Some homeowners near coastal regions are now paying $5,000, $7,000, even over $10,000 per year for insurance alone. That is not just another expense. That is middle-class destruction. Now add property taxes, HOA fees, electric bills, flood insurance, maintenance, roof repairs, air conditioning replacements during brutal Florida summers, and suddenly that affordable Florida home starts costing over $4,000 every month. This is the part real estate influencers rarely showed people, because talking about granite countertops gets clicks. Talking about financial stress does not. A couple making $80,000 a year with 2 kids, a car payment, student loans, and rising grocery prices cannot comfortably survive a $4,000 to $5,000 monthly housing payment. That is not luxury living. That is financial survival. And now, reality is finally starting to hit the market. Inventory across many Florida cities has been rising. Homes are sitting longer. price cuts are spreading. Sellers who expected bidding wars are suddenly realizing buyers are disappearing. And honestly, many sellers still have not accepted reality yet. A lot of homeowners are still trying to sell based on 2022 fantasy prices. But buyers today are looking at the total monthly payment now, not just the listing price. And that changes the psychology of the entire market. Because a house is no longer just a house. It is a monthly operating system. Mortgage payment, insurance payment, property tax payment, HOA payment, maintenance payment, utility payment. Everything drains money every single month. And Americans are finally starting to ask one dangerous question. Is this even worth it anymore? That question is dangerous for a housing market built entirely on endless optimism and speculation. Because once buyers stop believing prices always go up, everything changes. This is why some analysts believe Florida could remain under pressure for years if inventory keeps rising while affordability stays broken. And the scary part? Florida may only be the beginning. Other pandemic boom states like Texas and Arizona are also showing signs of stress. Because this was never just a Florida problem. This was a greed problem. For years, homes stopped being treated like places for families to live. They became casino chips, investment vehicles, Airbnb businesses, social media flexes. Speculation replaced sustainability. And now, reality is finally sending the bill. Not just to investors, not just to speculators, but to ordinary Americans who simply wanted a stable place to live. That is why so many people feel angry about the housing market now. Because deep down, millions of Americans no longer feel like housing represents freedom. It feels like a financial trap. And maybe that is the biggest lesson from all of this. A housing market driven by greed can rise incredibly fast. But eventually, ordinary people stop being able to survive inside it. Florida may still be beautiful, but beauty alone does not pay the mortgage. It does not pay the insurance bill. It does not pay the property taxes. And right now, millions of Americans are finally realizing that. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe. And more importantly, leave a comment below and tell me what is happening in your housing market right now. Are homes still affordable where you live? Or is Florida simply the first warning sign of something much bigger happening across America?